question was whether there has to be a probate or not. That depends on how big the estate is, how the person had their assets titled. We've had people come into our office who they lived in an apartment, but they didn't own any real estate. They were living paycheck to paycheck, so all their money that was coming in was going out pretty quick. At the end of the month or by mid-month, they had their spending money. In cases like that, I don't recommend a revocable living trust. Why are you going to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a trust when you don't really have any assets to pass along to somebody? That's the key. That's one scenario. A different scenario might be you have your house, maybe it's a husband and wife, life partners. The two of you own a piece of real estate and you own it in joint tenancy with the other one. So on the death of the first one, that house, because it's in joint tenancy, automatically goes to the other one. Now there's all kinds of dangers with that, because what if both of you pass away at the same time in a car wreck and you don't have a plan on who it goes to and you didn't want it to go to your kids? There's drawbacks for all of that. Bank accounts the same way. We've actually had probates where there were actually probate assets, like a piece of real estate, maybe a bank account. This particular one, there was also a third bank account, and the mother had 5 kids. She only put 2 kids as a pay-on-death beneficiary for that bank account. Those 2 kids got the money, and it was like, if I remember right, it was around $300,000. And the actual assets in the probate were about $120,000, and they still got a fifth of that. Those 2 kids really made out as far as what they got out of the probate. But that's another way, is you have a pay-on-death beneficiary on a bank account. Same thing if you have an insurance policy, that you can name a beneficiary for an insurance policy, right? And if you've named a child or a friend, neighbor down the street, aunt, uncle, whoever it is, as the beneficiary of that, that's who the insurance company is going to pay out to. They don't care whether you have a last will and testament. They don't care whether you have a trust. All they care is about whose name is on that document. It is possible to get rid of your assets, your stuff, without having to go through a probate, but I would urge you to talk to somebody first and see what your options are before you just unilaterally make that decision. I always tell people, do you want your kids to have your assets? Do you want your grandkids to have your assets? Or do you want your son's, wife's, new husband's kids to have your assets? And that's the scenario, that's where you can end up if you don't plan correctly.